Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I appreciate those of you that are already jumping on live. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us today. As you know, the Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, we are talking about the gap between selfless and selfish. We have Dawnita Brown here to share her teachings on an action she calls self-full, which I just love. At one time, Dawnita was set on becoming a global citizen with a vision board filled with adventure and volunteer work. In 2018, that vision came to a streaking halt when her mother had a stroke. She watched as her life pivoted drastically to long-term caregiver. With vibrancy still bubbling from within, she saw an opportunity to build upon her situation. Dawnita now educates, equips, and encourages caregivers to live a life of self-fullness while caring for their loved ones. Welcome, Dawnita. How are you? When you think about your whole journey, which that's a lot that you've done, overcome, done, accomplished. What would you say is your biggest challenge you've endured?
I would say it's really that part of giving myself grace. Like, I feel like I've always felt like I wasn't doing enough. I could do more. I could be better, so overcoming me, you know what I mean? Overcoming the me that gets in my own way has been the greatest challenge just throughout my life. And it's just recently that I'm being kinder to myself, to accept what happens. Like I said, I mean, of course, incidents like they're challenges in and of itself, right? So my mother getting sick, that was a huge challenge. I've overcome it. My mother being bedridden as a result, a huge challenge. I've overcome it. The, you know, my life changing the way that it has, it's kind of like I've overcome it and I've gotten to a certain place. But it's that nagging critic that even throughout all of the things that I've been able to overcome is still nagging at me or saying hurtful things, and so that's been my hugest challenge.
Definitely, I could see that. When you think about, well, first of all, how did you come to realize that you needed to work on that? Did you read? Is this a YouTube? Is this a video? Is this a mentor? Is this a coach? How did you recognize that that was even an issue?
All of the above.
Really?
Yeah, therapy,
Or
even friends, talking to friends, talking to myself, talking to God, reading books, um, Googling and realizing you're not alone. Some stuff that you don't want to share is like secret stuff, and you Google and be like, wait a minute, other people have that issue too. And so it's like all of the above. And then it I got to a place where I realized it was counterproductive. Like, it's not helping anything. So the only way to
Wait,
really
what's counterproductive?
is being really hard on yourself,
Yeah, okay.
being critical of yourself, not giving yourself grace. That's counterproductive. It's not going to get any better. So let's change this mindset that you're having. And that's why I said the beginning of the year, I did this blog. This is the year of life journey to self-love, the quest to self-love, something like that. I titled it, but it was just like, because I want to be the best version of myself. And when you're negative and critical, you're blocking who you can become. We're constantly evolving. We're never going to be at the pinnacle, because the pinnacle is perfection, and that's not realistic. However, we can certainly change some things, right? Instead of, even if you think it, because we're human, so it's not like we're never going to think anything. But as soon as you think it, be like, oh wait, hold up, let's fill it with a positive thought. You know what I mean? Let's turn it around. Like with my mother, she's not able to walk, so she's bedridden. But guess what? I can run errands. I can talk to you on this podcast without having to worry about her getting up, walking, and falling, or, things like that. So just looking at things from a different perspective.
Definitely, 100%.